Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. This is the vault episode 675. Real reason trust fail. Definitely am excited and thankful to do this episode. I actually got some feedback from some trustees and wanted to do this episode to clear some things up and help people get more value out of what is it that they say they want to do, or individuals that say they want to do. And hopefully this is an encouragement and possibly a discouragement. You know, you don't want someone to get hurt. So many people want to jump off cliffs nowadays, and we're always excited about people wanting to take risk, wanting to protect their family, but it comes to a point where outside of taking risks you have to protect. And so that means that there is a asset protection mentality. It is a risk management mentality. It is a asset is a risk risk management. What you could say, even just potential risk, just making sure that you mitigate risk. The real reason trust fails is because of lack of management. What do you mean lack of management, trust Christian? What do you mean? Do they have enough people? Is it just one person? Okay, for all the trustees that have listened for years, people that are in trust, for you, if you listen, you say, "Oh, I got to trust," and you're the sole trustee. We just mentioned why it's failing, why it's going to fail. It's because it's a lack of team diversity. It's a lack of team thought process. Trustees say, "Oh yeah, I'm the only trustee." Then you're the only smart person in the room. I didn't go out and get an outside person. I didn't go get a trust protector to sit here and listen. I got to hire Trust Christian to sit in the meetings with us so we can just have a quality meeting. Exactly. We sit in meetings at the vault for trustees to help them out with their management practices. So let's talk about it once again. One of the real reasons trusts fail is because of lack of management. What does the management look like? The management is setting regular trust meetings. Oh, I'm a trustee, Trust Christian, but I didn't set up the meetings for the trust. I'm a trustee, but I'm not consistent with my meetings. Because you're not consistent with your minutes. And you're not consistent with your minutes because you're not consistent with your meetings. The real reason trust fails is because it's not set up as a business. People are employees. They're walking around with job mentality. Oh, job mentality says, "Oh, Trust Christian, I didn't have a meeting this week." Exactly. It's not whether Trust Christian or the vault or anything. Your family estate in the initial steps has to have weekly planned meetings every single week because it has to become a habit. We were talking to one of our senior board of advisors today. Said, "Trust Christian, first thing I want you to do is I want you to engage us." Oh, he said, first thing you got to inspire us. So you inspire people to your dream. You inspire people to your family trust, family estate. We got people, they sitting here trying to protect their dream. How you going to protect your dream? You got to give your dream away. How you going to grow a business if you don't give the business idea to other people to help you grow it? The mentor, a business colleague said, "Hey, Trust Christian," he said, "first thing you want to do is inspire people." He said, "The next thing you want to do is engage people." It was another one he used who come up with it, but one of them was engage for sure. And the reason why they're engaged is because you're actively sending information. You're actively communicating. Trustees sometimes think they can go a week or two without communicating. That's not how it works. Oh, really, Trust Christian? What you mean? I can't do that? You get a paycheck every 2 weeks? Sounds like you might want to do a minute every 2 weeks. Get a paycheck every 2 weeks. You do a minute every 2 weeks. It's a minute. It is an hour. Some trustees, here we go. The real reason trust fails because the trustees that get in them don't have a business mindset. So they get in and they think that this is overwhelming. Oh man, it's a lot to do. No, it's not. It's just a business. You're a lot to do. You are the operator, the manager. You have a lot to do. And some trustees, they get overwhelmed by, "Oh man, Trust Christian, is a lot to do." It's business. There is an end. The trust has an end to the means. Oh, I've been listening to you for 5 years plus, Trust Christian. So are you in the same position? Should we be doing the same thing over and over and over? When are we going to retire from our job so we can work full time as trustees? How can I work as a full time trustee? When you start doing full time trustee activities consistently. And one of them is having a board meeting for the family estate weekly. It's only 52 weeks in a year. So if you want to cut it down, it's half the year. 25 weeks in a 25 weeks that we would do minutes. The reason trust fails is because of lack of management, lack of business acumen at the trustee level. Some trustees say, "Oh, I need to go to school." Some trustees say, "I need to go get an accounting degree." Some trustees say, "I need to get legal." And we talk to them for years now, and we still sit in front of them. We're thankful that we can say it. We sit in front of legal right now. We sit in front of accountants right now. They're not even in trust sometimes, but they can help us out and they can do their job. And that's the interesting part about it, is that we work with families in that capacity where you don't need a lawyer until you need a lawyer. You don't need I mean, everybody comes, you got trustees, they held up on actually having a business mindset. And if you have a business mindset, then you will go vet out the accountants. You will vet them out. But a lot of people want things handed to them like it's a job. They don't say that, but they say it. Due to their actions, lack of engagement, lack of activity. Oh man, Trust Christian, are you focused on the lack? We don't need to be focused on the lack. We're just sharing with you all why they fail. It's because people actually are focused on the lack. I don't have enough time to do the minutes, Trust Christian. I don't have time to go do a site visit. I don't have time to actually listen to a business book. You don't have time to listen to a business book. You don't have time to listen to a trustee book this week, but you say you want to be a trustee over your family estate? You think you deserve that position? You're going to engage other family members with their finances, and you're not going to study this week for them and for you? That's the real reason why trust failed. It's because individuals don't study. They're not handling it as a business. Remember when we first got in business, I went to one of the mentors, I said, I need to learn accounting because I'm managing this. And he said, Trust Christian, we don't do that. We hire those people. I was like, okay. Came back a year later, like, okay, we gotta make sure we got legal docs getting into business more and more. So we don't deal with that stuff. We get lawyers to do that. Like, what? I'm about to go to school. Isn't that a good thing? You are a manager. You are a trustee. That's what he was saying. You hire those people. Trustees come to us and say, oh, I need to find an accountant, or I need to find a bookkeeper. We could say you could use the bank account, but at the end of the day, what's wrong with having someone look over the books once a month, every 2 weeks, paying them $200-300 a session? That's it. To look over the account, make sure expenses are classified properly. What is that? Expenses and income. The real reason trust fails is because of lack of business acumen displayed by the current manager. The reason why it's going to fail is because the current manager, you as the trustee or otherwise, has a capacity. That means you have a capacity on time. It means you have capacity in knowledge. That means you have a capacity in finance. It means you have a capacity in energy. And it's only so much you can do. But so many people say, oh man, I'm okay with taking it a long time. I can see why one of the mentors said trust asset protection vehicles are only for people that have capital. Why? Because traditionally, even when you get in a vehicle, you're not supposed to get in and sit on assets. It's to actually get in and grow the assets. The real reason why they fail, y'all don't want to know. If we call out trustees right now, y'all be like, well, why are you calling out trustees? First of all, it's not Trust Christian. It's you. You are a trustee. You have to act like a business person. Oh, what do you mean, Trust Christian? Trustees will come on the line with casual clothes. How is that okay? It's a business meeting. Treat everything as a business meeting. Oh, Trust Christian, is that the way it's really supposed to be? I'm a trustee. It's my family estate. I could sit here with some t-shirt and shorts on and do a business meeting. And now you understand why the business doesn't have a business mentality, a business approach. It is a business. Managing your family estate is a business. So coming on business calls requires you to dress in business attire. But oh no, Trust Christian, don't say that to me, Trust Christian. I don't want to wear business attire. It's my family estate. It's casual. I'm trying to learn in a free learning environment, in a relaxed environment. You think it works that way? It doesn't. The most successful trustees we work with are business people, and they dress up for the meetings. They don't need to wear a suit and tie, but they understand it is a business meeting. It is not casual. Do you hear the difference? People have casual clothes, they have business clothes. You come on the call for business purposes, not to have a casual conversation. But why do people move like that? Because they don't understand how to cut the casual switch off and cut the business switch on. What do you mean, Trust Christian? Is that going to make the trust fail? Ladies and gentlemen, we've had trustees literally go into a bank and not wear business attire. How do you expect the banker to take you seriously? They fail for lack of mentorship. They trust fail for lack of brain power. They fail for lack of management, which is brain power. Having enough people to come on and say, we have the expertise in this. You know, you get into trusteeship, well, I remember first getting in, and even to this day, just like, okay, where do we need to fill in our weaknesses? As a trustee, you know you have weaknesses. So you fill in those weaknesses. Even as a trust, the trustee's job is to fill the weaknesses in for the trust outside of you. That's how it looks. It looks like you're educating yourself. You set up a system for yourself or for the family estate, and it operates without you. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening, replay. Always appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening, replay. It's Trust Christian involved. Feel free to reach out, Christian@trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian@trustchristian.com. We've seen a bunch of trustees come through for years. People are going to say they own a trust. People are going to say they have a trust. But they're not trustees. They're employees working for some other man's family, some other woman's family. You know, people always say, oh, I want Trust Christian. I want the raw, unadulterated Trust Christian. They traditionally don't. People sometimes want their emotions to be coaxed. They don't really want to grow. It's rare. You say, oh, Trust Christian, who's successful in trust? The 1%. Why? We understand that there's a defined process for success in trusteeship. We understand that it requires relationships. We understand that it requires teamwork. We understand that. We understand that you're going to have tough conversations in business. We understand that. We're not surprised that things fail. We got trustees scared to share a business idea because they think somebody's going to steal it. But they call themselves believers. Oh, Trust Christian, how could you talk about somebody like that? We'll say it again for the record. Because that's living in fear. You are a believer. You say you believe in your creator. You got a higher purpose on your life. So then everything you've been given is a calling. No one can take what is yours. We got to remind you. We got to remind trustees of that. Of course, Trust Christian involved. You got to remind people. Why? Because they're watching the news. And the news is programming them with fear. And it's telling them that they can't save their family estate. And it's telling them that there's no such thing as privacy. That's what the news is telling them. The real reason trust fail is from lack of management and education and preparation for the management. Whether that's successors or the current trustees. What is the education? What is the education that's required? Some people say, oh man, I need to learn accounting. You can hire those people. You can get those people to be consulting. They can consult. They can consult you. So you can consult. You can get consulted on bookkeeping. You can get consulting on legal. What's your job? Here we go, trustees. The real reason trust fail, it's simple. Most trustees, if they're not an entrepreneur, they don't have a business mindset. If they are not an entrepreneur, they don't have a business mindset 24/7. Is there a difference between an employee and a business owner mindset? 100%. Every single time. Every single time. Every single time. Business owners have hard conversations. Employees, when they don't like the boss saying something to them, they go to HR and they quit and try to get more pay. In business, you don't have anywhere to go. You have to focus on solving the problem and not actually having the problem come up again. And we talked to entrepreneurs about this. They traditionally understand, okay, we make a mistake once or twice, we'll fix it, not looking to double back on it even twice. Employees, it's redundant. Oh man, I dropped the ball. I dropped the ball. I dropped the ball. I dropped the ball. And there's a mindset that comes with it. Do entrepreneurs drop the ball sometimes? Of course. They're going to drop the ball, but they have more of a reason not to drop the ball. Just like trustees that have tons of money, they have more of a reason not to mess up. Whereas the trustees that don't have as much capital, worried about messing up. For what reason? Do you have $1 million in there? You got $500,000 in there? You got $250,000? Do you even have $50,000 inside a trust, but you're worried about making a mistake? How does that make sense? It doesn't make sense. It's just fear. People living in fear. How can you operate successfully in trust if you're operating for fear? How do you operate successfully in trust? You operate from a business, quote unquote, entrepreneur, investor based mindset. There are timelines on things. There are time frames on things. There's capital on things as far as amounts, things of that nature. Those things. Time frames. Appreciate everybody that's enrolled in trustee training, people that have inquired about trustee training, people that have moved forward with trustee training throughout the years. We look forward to seeing y'all in the rooms we in, ladies and gentlemen. We look so forward to seeing the families that, I wanted to get in foundation, actually put it to work. We have trustees that are employees that put the foundation to work. They work and they put the foundation to work. And they did their best to manage it as a business, and they're managing as businesses because it's a business. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen to replay. Always appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen to replay. Feel free to reach out, Christian@trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian@trustchristian.com. It's been an exciting year so far working with some various trustees. One thing we could say though, this is the best time to be alive, and the wealth transfer is going on every single day. And we see many aren't going to participate, and they're not. They're stuck on the news, politics, and what's going on in the current administration. So we appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Feel free to reach out, Christian@trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian@trustchristian.com. So we can make sure that you don't fall into the trap of the real reason trust fail, which is management. Having quality managers in place, knowing how to find those managers, knowing how to develop those managers, and learning how to exit the business. So many people get in business and they get in even in trust, and they don't have, well, how long is the trust going to last? The trust doesn't last forever. Can we talk about it? You would like to think it lasts forever, but it might restructure. Maybe you didn't do your job. Maybe the next gen doesn't do the job. Maybe the generation after that doesn't do the job. Is there an exit for the family estate to say, we need to pull a plug on this? The real reason trust fails is because people don't have the correct information. There's over 80 different types of trust. Are you clear on which one you have? The real reason trusts fail is because trustees are not competent, but people want to be in trust. How do you get competent trust, Christian? You go educate yourself at conferences. You educate yourself by getting consultations. You educate yourself that way. You educate yourself by getting consultations for sure and getting out to conferences. So we appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian at trustchristian.com. Peace and joy.